Hey guys, it's Marissa from Imagine This, an art and music studio for both kids and adults, and today we are going to be going over pre-arts lesson for the week. Our pre-art class is ages 2 to 5, but we want to invite anyone to join in on the fun. And remember, as our good friend Bob Ross once said, there are no mistakes, only happy accidents. We have 2 activities planned for pre-art, but let's jump into the first one. So the month of April, we can celebrate many different things. We celebrate springtime, we celebrate summer almost coming, but we also get to celebrate Earth Day. So our planet Earth and the beauty that is in our Earth. So I want you to be thinking about while we're doing these activities, what is your favorite part of the planet? Is it the beach? Is it the flowers, the trees? Whatever it is, I want you to be thinking about that as we do our activities. Our first activity, all of the supplies besides the paint has been provided for you. You will need a balloon that is blown up. You can decide if you want it to be really big, really small, or medium sized. You will also need either a plate or a palette that you can put paint on. We provided this paper for you, and then you will also need some paint. Here I have blue, green, and even some white. But if you don't have green, you can always mix yellow and blue. So let's get started. I'm gonna get some blue paint, a little smudge on it, well, some green paint. So as we're doing this, I want you to be thinking about if we were to go hundreds and thousands of miles away into space and go and maybe sit on the moon, have a picnic on the moon, what would the Earth look like? What colors would we see? We'd probably see a lot of colors, but I would guess that we would mostly see green and blue, which is why we have these colors picked out here. Maybe even some white for the clouds. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our balloon and we are going to dip it in some blue. And I'm going to dip it into some green as well. I'm not going to mix it together. I just dipped it right in. Now I'm going to go onto my paper, and instead of smearing it around, I'm just going to plop it down and hold it up like this. So it almost looks like a little baby Earth from far, far away from our picnic on the moon. So I'm going to do a couple of these. You may even notice some cool texture that you're getting from the balloon. I'm also going to get a little bit of white. Put some clouds on my Earth, or maybe there are some lighter blues and lighter greens that we can put on here. But just play around with the different textures that you make from the balloon, the different colors that are mixed together, until you have a very colorful paper full of all these different little Earths. For our second activity, I'm going to put this aside. We are again going to be celebrating the Earth. And you can just keep this plate out with your paint on it because we're going to be using it again. For this activity, you will need a plate that was provided. This plate needs to be different than the one that has the paint on it, or your palette that has the paint on it, because we are actually going to be painting onto this plate and it's going to become your art project. You should also have a couple of different colors and several green pipe cleaners. You will also need some scissors, some glue, and in your kit, we also give you a cotton ball and a clothespin. So what we're going to do now is we are going to get the blue, and you can feel free this time to mix it in with the green, mix it in with the white. We're going to play around with some of this pretty texture again. And you can decide if you want to just go up and down and paint the plate, or if you want to swirl it around with your cotton ball. There are lots of different options that you can do. You can play around with the different textures that you make. But we want this plate to be almost completely covered in these blues. So you can mix it with the green, maybe make some really pretty blue-green, some light blue. But I'm just going to take the next minute or so and fill in this plate. Alright, so I've just about finished filling up this plate. You can see there are lots of different fun colors of blue, some light blue, some dark blue, as well as some really cool texture in here. I did a mixture of swirling as well as just dotting in here. So this represents our planet Earth as if it was just completely covered in water. Just oceans and sea animals. So what we want to do now is I'm going to put my little cotton ball aside, and I am going to grab my eye cleaners. So there are a couple different ways that you can approach this. If you have some scissors, you can actually cut up your pipe cleaner into little pieces. Or if you want, you can just take these big pieces and you can kind of wrap them around. They don't have to be exactly the same form as our Earth is if you want to kind of make up some continents and so forth. I'm just going to scrunch this up, and this is going to represent the actual land on our Earth. So you can have some fun with this. I'm going to cut this guy up into some pieces. You can swirl it around. Make little tiny continents or some big continents on here. And you should have 3 or 4 of these. So you should have lots of room for some creative thinking. So I'm just going to stick some of these on here, play around with these for a few minutes. And then when I'm happy with the shapes that I have, I am going to take my glue and I'm going to glue it right on. It might even just stick to your wet paint just fine without glue. All right, so I'm going to keep working on this. But we hope that you guys have fun with these 2 activities, and please send in pictures. We'd love to see them, and have a great day.